185, week 185. Well, hi everybody. Yeah. Hi everyone. Welcome to the GoldFish Report. I'm your host and research reporter, I should say, Louisa. How's everybody tonight? It's Wednesday, August 19th, 2020. This is GoldFish Report number 551, and it's week 185 POTUS report. It's our midweek report, and we're just going to, review really quickly what the president's been doing in terms of policy for the week and in terms of his events. And let's take a look. Just want to say hello to everybody. Hi, everyone. How are you? Welcome. So yes, I'm making sure that I'm not muted. God help me. It's okay. I'm not muted. I think you can hear me. Very good. Let's take a look at what's been going on. As you know, over the weekend, the president announced the passing of his brother, unfortunately. This was, I don't know, quite a surprise, I think. Though he had been sick, he was very vocal on Twitter for the previous weeks leading up to this his death. But he was very active on Twitter. I interacted with him on Twitter. He responded to me on Twitter. I'm a little bit shocked. Yeah, always shocked, right? So it says here, it's with a heavy heart I share that my wonderful brother, Robert, peacefully passed away tonight. He was not just my brother, he was my best friend. He will be greatly missed, but we will meet again. His memory will live on in my heart forever. Robert, I love you. Rest in peace. So it was very touching sentiment from the president to his brother. And obviously, it's very, very tough, a tough situation for anybody. And I have to tell you, I don't know why I don't know where everybody is, but the president was asked the question tonight. I'm going to screen share this, and it was a big deal that finally a reporter, I didn't see who it was, had asked the president about the QAnon movement. So he responded in kind regarding the movement itself, which may be different than the QAnon operation. So you have to be very careful when it comes to interpreting what the president was talking about here, because the question was about the QAnon movement, and he answered it in the context of the QAnon movement. Okay, the movement meaning the people. Let's listen to what the president had to say.
During the pandemic, the QAnon movement appears to be gaining a lot of followers. Can you talk about what you think about that and what you have to say to people who are following this movement right now?
Well, I don't know much about the movement other than I understand they like me very much, which I appreciate. But I don't know much about the movement. I have heard that it is gaining in popularity, and from what I hear, these are people that when they watch the streets of Portland, when they watch what happened in New York City in just the last 6 or 7 months, but this was starting even 4 years ago when I came here, almost 4 years, can you believe it? These are people that don't like seeing what's going on in places like Portland and places like Chicago and New York and other cities and states. And I've heard these are people that love our country and they just don't like seeing it. So I don't know really anything about it other than they do supposedly like me, and they also would like to see problems in these areas, like especially the areas that we're talking about, go away, because there's no reason the Democrats can't run a city. And if they can't, we will send in all of the federal, whether it's troops or law enforcement, whatever they'd like, we'll send them in, we'll straighten out their problem in 24 hours or less, okay?
Well, at the crux of the theory is this belief that you are secretly saving the world from this satanic cult of pedophiles and cannibals. Does that sound like something you are behind?
Well, I haven't heard that, but Is that supposed to be a bad thing or a good thing? I mean, if I can help save the world from problems, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to put myself out there. And we are, actually. We're saving the world from a radical left philosophy that will destroy this country. And when this country is gone, the rest of the world would follow. The rest of the world would follow. That's the importance of this country. And when you look at some of the things that these people are saying with defund the police and no borders, open borders, everybody just pour right into our country. No testing, no nothing. You know, you talk about testing, no testing. Mexico, as you know, has a very high rate of infection. The wall is now going to be next week 300 miles long. Our numbers are extraordinary on the border. Had that, and this is through luck, perhaps, more than talent, although the talent is getting it built when one party refuses to allow it. You don't hear talk about the wall anymore. But I will say this, we need strength in our country, not weakness. Too much weakness. Yes, John.
Mr. President, you have been very bullish.
Okay, so there you have it, folks. Did everybody hear that? Did everybody hear what the president just said about the QAnon movement? Hi, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. That was awesome. Wasn't that awesome? That is vindication for the Q movement, for people around the world, for anybody who's been following Q anywhere, right? He said, she asked us, are you saving the world from a satanic death cult? And the president says, is that a bad thing? Well, there you have it. He says, well, we are saving the world from this terrible this. So you know what? I mean, there you have, we finally have this vindication I would say it's vindication from the president. I hope everybody's happy. I hope everybody heard what the president just said. And I hope everybody in the live chat and everyone who's watching right now, share this video far and wide because, we are being throttled and censored so bad. I mean, we have like 600 views on videos. This is ridiculous. I've had millions of views on my videos, millions and millions of views. It's just ridiculous on our first channel, which was deleted. But hey, let's keep moving along. Okay. I'm just trying to bring, hi, Phoenix. Nice to see you. I'm just trying to bring the truth to people so we can all wake up long before Q came on. But, who's counting, right? This is our 51st report here. And the whole thing was about 555, everybody. It was about this shift and change on the planet. And I am on my 555 report. And if you are a Patreon, you can view it early and you can see it for yourself. But it will be released probably this weekend. And it's the 555 was a shift and change on the planet to the people, putting the power back in the people's hands, giving the people more of what they deserve. And this was what 555 was all about. It's really what helped start the GoldFish Report. And we'll get to that. So let's move along. I'm so happy to share that news. I mean, the president was very clear about his opinion about the QAnon movement. So they didn't ask about the Q operation. They didn't ask about Austin Steinbart. They didn't ask about General Flynn. And, he's not going to be able to answer those questions in the way that people think or the way people want, because it would be probably a violation of national security. But he did address the movement and he addressed it. I don't know who the reporter was, but I will try to find that out. In the meantime, let's keep moving along. We did get that news from the president regarding his brother. That was, pretty sad. That was very unfortunate. That was on Saturday, right? So we're going to move along to talk about, a lot to talk about, folks. Oh, okay. I see. These were... We have a West Wing Reads here. We're going to be talking about how the White House prepared for a pandemic. The Trump administration was well aware of the threat of a pandemic before the novel coronavirus emerged, Joel Zingberg and Thomas Phillipson write in the Wall Street Journal. In fact, a White House report produced last semester laid the groundwork for President Trump's historic push for a vaccine, now known as Operation Warp Speed. The report discussed how the lack of private market incentives had led to underinvestment in developing and using innovative technologies that can quickly produce vaccines for a new virus. When COVID-19 appeared a few months later, the administration expeditiously applied the report's lessons on a value of public-private partnership to speed vaccine innovation and production. Now, new vaccines are being developed at previously unimaginable speed. President Trump recently delivered on our recommendation to suspend the payroll tax. The Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget estimates that Trump's tax deferral may put $100 billion worth of extra pay back into the pockets of U.S. workers through year end. Steve Moore and Alfredo Ortiz write in Real Clear Markets. Chicago police officers have been retiring at double the normal rate recently, raising concerns that the number of new hires won't keep pace with the number of leaving. Frank Main reports, "Who wants to stay in this environment? The mayor doesn't back us," the Chicago Fraternal Order of Police president said. Read more in the Chicago Sun-Times. And science is one of the strongest weapons that we have against this virus, which is why President Trump has enlisted our unrivaled research community in the fight. Since the start of the pandemic, the Trump administration has taken several actions to engage scientists in academia, industry, and government to understand and defeat this disease, writes Kelvin Drogenmeier, President Trump's science advisor for the Examiner. So we'll just keep moving along. I'll check back in. Let me make sure I'm not muted. Oh my goodness. We'll go through that again, right? This was President Trump in Yuma, Arizona. He was discussing the border wall construction and the operational update. He says that we're going to have, in 2 weeks, we will have 300 miles of the wall completed. And he says, and this is a small version of it because actually the real deal goes up 30 feet. This is much smaller than that, but this is a small version of it. This is what the finish will be. And he says those are anti-climb plates at the top, so that makes it much more difficult when you get to the top because you see these guys climbing up with drugs on their back, and when you see that, it's actually, they look at the wall and say, let's pass, let's take a pass on it. So it's been a really incredible success. So within 2 weeks, we'll be in 300 miles, he says. They'll have, completed 300 miles. They're doing about 10 miles a week, which is really, 2 miles a day they're doing, it says. Lieutenant General Semonite has reported. Over 10 miles a week, over 2 miles a day, that's the update. So that's the update on the wall. If you want to know more about this, you can come to the blog here and you can read this. You can read this long transcript of this press conference. Okay, but I'm sorry, I'm going to turn it off because I don't like to scroll on you guys. Let me just check in and say hello to everybody. Hello. Yeah, thank you. Exactly. I hope you all did get to see the video I shared about the president talking about QAnon, or at least the Q movement, which was really the first time that he's addressed the movement itself, not the operation, but the movement. So that's interesting. You definitely want to go back to the beginning of this report to see that if you missed it. Let's continue. We'll go on with. Big news this week. The president pardoned Susan B. Anthony. I would have to say posthumously, right? Today, the president, Trump, issued an executive grant of clemency, full pardon, posthumously, yes, there it is, to Susan B. Anthony, a peerless advocate for women's suffrage, for a wrongful and unjust conviction stemming from the only vote she ever cast in an election. As we commemorate the centennial of the ratification of the 19th Amendment, known as the Susan B. Anthony Amendment, this grant of full clemency recognizes and pays tribute to the advocacy, perseverance, and leadership of a truly remarkable woman and an American hero. You can come here and read the rest of it. Well, you know what? I'm going to read it. I will read it. On November 5th, 1872, Susan B. Anthony, after having been permitted to register to vote, entered a polling location in Rochester, New York, and cast a straight ticket Republican ballot. 2 months later, a grand jury in Albany, New York, returned an indictment against her for having voted illegally. At the onset of her trial in June 1873, and in clear violation of her rights to trial by jury and due process, she was convicted by way of a direct verdict issued by the presiding judge, Supreme Court Justice Ward Hunt. During the trial, Justice Hunt stated that the voting by Miss Anthony was in violation of the law. After not being permitted to testify on her own behalf, she was finally given the opportunity to speak on the last day of trial. In the most famous speech in the women's suffrage movement, Susan B. Anthony aggressively defended a citizen's right to vote and compared the denial of such a right to the denial of sacred right to life, liberty, and prosperity. Justice Hunt then directed the jury to return a guilty verdict and imposed a $100 fine on Susan B. Anthony as her sentence. Although the suffragette steadfastly refused to pay the unjust fine, Justice Hunt did not have her imprisoned, preventing her from appealing her sentence to a higher court. See, this is so the whole justice system, nothing's changed, folks. Nothing. It's all political. It's all political. It always is. I don't know how it's ever going to change. I don't know how the American people are ever going to find, have faith in the judiciary, the broken branch. Okay, let's keep going. Susan B. Anthony is an American icon who has inspired millions of women across the nation through her advocacy and accomplishments, and the generations of Americans who have devoted themselves to the work of perfecting our union are forever indebted to her example and legacy. Right? She's not the only one, right? We have Rosa Parks, another hero of mine. The decision to posthumously pardon Susan B. Anthony removes a conviction for exercising a fundamental American right, and one that we as citizens will lawfully employ this November. In light of these facts and in recognition of her historic work to improve the justice of our Constitution, the President has concluded that Susan B. Anthony is worthy of this posthumous pardon. It's very nice. I'm just wondering, what does anybody have to say about that? Hi, Sherry. How are you, dear? You don't get notices anymore. No, because this is the new. Oh, not only that, but you know what? I went on Monday night because I told everybody Monday during the day when I had my mute button on by accident, like for 20 minutes during the report. Oh, man. I did go back and edit that out. But I did come back Monday night and I did another report. And I had the notification. I'm going to show it to you here. I'm going to show you this notification. Let me see. Part 2. Right. They are relentless to GoldFish Report. They truly are. Right, I get like 100 emails a day. My goodness. Where is it? YouTube. Okay. Check this out, folks. I'm not making it up. Look at this. You can see for yourself. Look how YouTube treats us. Okay. Okay. Due to a copyright claim, your video has been blocked. This means that your video can no longer be played on YouTube. GoldFish Report number 549, Meme Monday. It was for the love of money, but guys, I have screen shared, many different pieces of music before. I never got this. Okay? Your video might contain copyrighted content. Copyright owners can choose to block YouTube videos that contain their content. Okay, but it's blocked. It's the only one I've ever had blocked, just outright blocked. Usually they remove it. They just delete it. They say, well, it violates your community standards, right? So what I did was I edited that one and I re-uploaded it, right? I took that piece of music. It was a theme song from The Apprentice, right? So I took that out completely, saying, okay, well, if that's the reason they're citing why it's blocked, then I'll just remove it, right? So I did. So I went and I edited that out and I re-uploaded it today. And lo and behold, I received another message from YouTube. They just harassed me, right? Take a look. Now it's some other reason. Now there's another reason why they can't. So GoldFish Report 549 Part 2, Meme Monday. Okay, special evening edition. You can see I specified this. May have content that is owned or licensed by BMI Broadcast Music, but it's still available on YouTube. If this is your performance of a third-party song, then you can still make money from this. I don't my channel's not monetized, so why do they bother? So it says it's not penalizing my account status, but it's still saying that there is some sort of copyright notice, but I removed the music. So there you have it, folks. There you have it. You know, they just keep harassing me. Yeah, I'm really glad that I read it too, because a lot of people weren't familiar with the whole story with Susan B. Anthony. She is definitely one of one of my heroes as Rosa Parks. I love Rosa Parks. I really admire that woman. I really, really do. I would have done the same thing if I were her. She's definitely one of my heroes for sure. So, oh, thanks, Wendy. I appreciate it. Yeah, that would be helpful. I do need a new microphone because, you know, after that happened on Monday, I ended up breaking my headset accidentally. Yeah, accidentally. It was an accident. Let's get back. Let's get back. We have a lot to talk about. So that's what the whole pardon was about. So that was wonderful. There's a lot of speculation. A lot of people thought it was going to be like Julian Assange or someone. But all right, the president also was in Iowa. He did, as we'll see in a little while, the president did approve a disaster declaration for the state of Iowa. Iowa had some really, really, really wicked weather. And I'll tell you, folks, the weather is just getting more and more wicked. There was a tornado watch in my neck of the woods today. There was a touchdown about, I don't know, probably about 10 miles from me. And we lost power. The rain was pouring. It was just not, it's just getting more and more intense. We don't usually get those kinds of tornadoes in this area. Like I'm on the almost on the ocean. We're so close to it. It's like, but you know, can happen. It's starting to happen. So here we have the president talking about, talking with Kim Reynolds, the governor, and saying that it was really, they had a very, very difficult time. There was a lot of destruction when it came to when it came to Lynn County. There, they had, silos just wrecked and crops destroyed and all kinds of things from very bad winds and winds from 80 to 110 miles per hour have carved a path of destruction through over half of Iowa's really great counties. I think they said it was like almost a 4 mile, no, what did they say? A 4 mile wide tornado or something? Yeah, 332 cell towers were damaged, impacting 1 million residents. Nearly 500,000 of the Iowa electric customers lost power, and only 90% of the power is back since that storm. So, and I really feel for them. I lost my power for 4 days this time and for 2 weeks during Hurricane Sandy. That was, boy, folks, we have to come up with better alternatives to power our homes that they'll allow. I mean, it's like you realize that we live under tyranny and fascism when we're not even allowed to find alternative methods to generate electricity and power for our home. Instead, all of our food has to be wasted. All of our all of our frozen food, all of our refrigerated food, everything is ruined. And, it's such a loss to so many people who just are on a budget and can't replace that, right? They said they had 595,000 households without power. 97% of Lynn County had no power from the storm. It was a bad storm. So the president was there to take care of things. And of course, the governor did the right thing by calling on the president for federal help, which is what the governors are supposed to do. When the damage and the need that they have surpasses the capacity of the state, you call the federal government for backup. That's how we do it, right? But that's not what the governor is doing in Oregon, is it? Or in New York, even in New Jersey. Oh, this is getting horrible here. This is getting horrible in the Northeast with these liberal governors. We really have to get we really have to get get our act together up here. It's getting very uncomfortable. Okay, so wait, no, I didn't want to do that. Hold on one second, folks. I don't know why I just did that. Hold on a minute. Okay. I like to try to present the earlier news first, and then the news from today will be last, because As doing it in that order. Okay, I'm trying to get past the, just bear with me for 1 minute. I'm just trying to get past the, yeah, okay. We've got long transcripts. I'm trying to scroll through them so that you don't have to. Kelly McEnany gave a press conference today, but I'm not going to go over that in any detail. There will be some clips played, though. I will play some clips. So this was about the border wall. So let's screen share this. Let me check with everybody. Is anyone shouting at my microphone? No, good. Great. So let me go back. Here we go. We're going to talk a little bit more about the border wall. Okay, so here we have President Trump traveled yesterday to Yuma, Arizona, where he met with the Border Patrol officers and gave Americans an update on the border wall with Mexico. This administration has basically funded us for 733 miles of wall, Lieutenant General Todd Seminate of the Army Corps of Engineers said. 49 different projects are all going in the ground across 4 states. That's amazing. Okay, so here's a little clip of the president talking about this. Let's see, as long as it's not a press conference, we can listen to it.
We will have hit 300 miles.
Here we go.
Miles of wall. And this is a small version of it because actually the real deal goes up 30 feet. This is much smaller than that. But this is a small version of it. This is what the finish will be. Those are anti-climb plates at top. So that makes it much more difficult when you get to the top because you see these guys climbing up with drugs on their back. And when you see that, it's actually, they look at the wall and they say, let's pass. Let's take a pass on it. You know, in 2 weeks, we will have hit 300 miles of.
Yeah, so that's what the president announced, as we reported a little bit earlier. So that is the update for the wall. So let's go back to see some other details about this. What else do we have? The new wall system is one piece of President Trump's larger agenda to protect America's security and sovereignty. Last year, he negotiated historic agreements with Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras to help stop the flood of illegal immigration across our border. Mexico even deployed thousands of troops to help. Border apprehensions have fallen by more than 70% since last May as a result. American law enforcement officers are stopping crime, drugs, and gangs in their tracks as well. So far this fiscal year, U.S. Customs and Border Protection has seized over 100,000 pounds of cocaine, over 83,000 pounds of meth, and over 2,700 pounds of fentanyl. Border Patrol apprehended 976 alien gang members last year, including 464 from the vile MS-13 gang. MS-13's motto is kill, rape, control. This is just evil, man. Whew. Let's watch this. Border wall leads to huge reduction in human trafficking. Let me see what clip this is here that the president is talking about.
To have closed up the border. Now people come in, if they come in through merit, if they come in legally, but they don't come in like they used to. And human trafficking is, I think we're down 96% or something. It's been incredible. It's a great feeling to have closed up the border. Now people come in, if they come in through merit, if they come in legally.
Interesting. Okay, so that's just a quick clip for the president. Let's go back to the story here. And of course, we have a little clip from Kelly McEnany as well in just a moment. Okay. Okay, a lot of the procedures that we are putting in place today are having a real impact on applying a consequence to those that are entering the country illegally, Acting Homeland Security Secretary Chad Wolf said. Border protection is more important than ever as the coronavirus pandemic spreads globally. Strong border security is crucial to help slow the spread of the disease. Okay, so here's another photo of the border wall system going up. Oh, wow, check this out, guys. That's just a photo, okay? In the desert. Look at that. Look at that. I'm mixed on that. Such mixed feelings about this wall. It's a lot, though. Look at it's just a lot. It's a lot of construction they have there. Okay, so that's the photo. It's a good photo. I'm going to retweet that. Okay, so let's keep moving. Alrighty. Okay, so here we have a video of the day Democrats left town. President Trump took action. Let's listen to Kaylee. Lovely Kaylee McEnany. We just love her.
Is Nancy Pelosi. The House is in recess. House and Senate Democrats left town after failing to compromise and make a deal to provide relief to the American people. While Nancy Pelosi and her colleagues went home, this president remained hard at work. President Trump took executive action, including stopping evictions, providing unemployment insurance, pausing student loan payments, cutting the payroll tax, which put money in the pockets of all Americans. Democrats apparently were unable to stick around to make a deal. Now, suddenly, Democrats will be rushing back to Washington. But why? The answer? The United States Postal Service. It's a stunning turn of events. Democrats went home after accomplishing nothing. No deal on stimulus checks, no deal on small business relief, no deal on eviction protections. The concerns of everyday Americans were not the concerns of Democrats on Capitol Hill. So where is Nancy Pelosi? She and her Democrat colleagues will be back in Washington soon to pursue their latest manufactured crisis, the Postal Service. Democrats denied a $10 billion offer for the U.S. Postal Service by this president before they went on recess. But now they're back to pursue the latest Democrat manufactured crisis. It's sad, but it's clear where Democrats' priorities stand. And with that, I'll take where.
Yeah, so she's right. And they wouldn't come back for a vote on the refund, the stimulus bill, but they are certainly coming back to try to hijack the election through the postal system. And let me also just say, I had called my my county election office because I didn't receive the application in the mail to declare, because I'm an independent on the what do you call it, or undeclared, I would say, rather, when it came to the primaries. And so you're supposed to receive an application in the mail to have an opportunity to declare yourself either a Democrat or a Republican so that you can receive the ballot. And that never happened. They just blamed the Postal Service. Right. Just never arrived. I like that. So this isn't going to work, folks. Doing a presidential election through the mail isn't going to work. Just no way it's going to work. It's going to be hijacked, the whole thing. While Speaker Nancy Pelosi and her Democrat colleagues went home with a deal to help American workers and students struggling during the pandemic, President Trump remained hard at work. He took 4 major executive actions to stop evictions, provide unemployment insurance, pause federal student loan payments, and cut payroll taxes. The concerns of everyday Americans were not the concerns of Democrats on Capitol Hill, Press Secretary Kaylee McEnany said today. Photo of the day here is the president with U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers in Yuma, Arizona. These guys must see it all. I'm telling you, it's probably an amazing amount of stuff these particular officers come across. Hi, everybody. Just want to hear what everybody's doing. I did see it. Operation Theater. I did see that FBI vault drop today. I didn't have a chance to read through it all. I'll talk about that on a different report, though. But yes, I did see that. I was a little surprised, honestly, to see that in there. But there it was. I can't wait to dig in, find out what else they have to say. Here's another transcript. I'm not going to screen share it. Oh. Yes. Okay, so I'm sorry, just a second, folks. I'm just trying to. Okay, so there was a conference call today with. Okay, this is what's going to happen tomorrow. The president's going to be meeting with Prime Minister Mustafa al-Kadhimi of Iraq. Okay, and this was the telephone conference to discuss that in advance of this meeting tomorrow. What else do we have to say? Okay, so a number of issues that they talked about were security, economic issues, and on the topic of aid and assistance front. He says, as you all know, this is critical time for both the United States and for Iraq. We stand shoulder to shoulder as partners against not only the enduring defeat of ISIS, but also against common threats to internal stability and security. Our goal for Iraq, we seek to further this conversation, is a stable, secure, and prosperous Iraq that is a constructive neighbor in the region. We've got a range of things to discuss. As you all know, this takes place during the context of a strategic dialogue with Iraq that encompasses all of our shared goals and interests. So Secretary Pompeo was fortunate enough to host a senior delegation of Iraqi officials accompanying the Prime Minister on his visit. And tomorrow, many of those same officials will join the President and many cabinet officials in the White House to advance those discussions even further. This will all take place under the guise of the Strategic Framework Agreement between Iraq and the United States. It is, as I intimated earlier, dedicated to building Iraq's defensive capabilities, providing security assistance, and working with Iraq to improve its stability and security. And this obviously includes preventing the reemergence of ISIS and addressing other internal security threats. So that's really interesting. A lot of people are wondering about the revaluation of the Iraqi currency as well, as it said here that economic issues are another issue. He didn't specifically state currency, but we'll see. Maybe that will be a topic of conversation needed for that. You can come here and take a look at the whole transcript. I'm not going to go through it all, but obviously, folks, we have done a lot to help Iraq after, we destroyed it with George Bush Jr. And yes, America has made many, many mistakes and enemies. And let's just hope that President Trump, and I think that he is working very hard to change that and to get a better standing in the world. Hold on just a second. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. Okay. They're talking about energy infrastructure and electricity projects, and it's vital that Iraq's electricity grid be connected to the GCC, which I guess is the global energy grid, something like that. So this is the whole transcript here, which you can take a look at. We've already talked about the human trafficking. This is the press secretary. The press conference. So that's basically it. So we kind of got this. This is a shorter report today. As I said in the beginning, this was wonderful to see the president address the whole QAnon movement issue in a press briefing, in a press conference, which he never really had done before. The president's not going to talk about QAnon in terms of the operation. He addressed it as the movement and what it represented, and it was really wonderful to see the president finally, address it one way or the other, right? So that's good to see. Let me just see if there's any other press releases that came in from the White House while we were talking, so that I can include everything in this. Let's see. No, there's other news, but I'm only going to report on the president tonight. Let's see. This was interesting. Okay, so that's it, folks. Just want to see what everybody has to say. You guys have any comments? Or that's it for tonight. You're late. Oh, Captain Raid, you're all right. Hi, GoldFish. We're done. We're done with our report. So we try to make it short, as you know, so we don't have to make it really long on Saturday night. But we'll be back on Saturday night. I'm going to be taking a few days off. We're going fishing. So, yep. Hopefully I get a few days off. And so I might not be doing my Monmouth. I'm sorry. I might not be doing I'm thinking of the polls, the Monmouth polls. I'm sorry, folks. The Meme Monday. I might not do it. I might pre-record it, and if I don't, I'll do it like later in the week or something. But I'm really having fun doing the meme programs. But it just looks like, because I missed you on Monday mornings when I used to go live with the FETs. But we have to do the FETs only on BitChute now, and we can't go live on that. We can't live stream that. So I do miss everybody on Monday mornings. I want to see how everybody's weekend was. Thanks, Morgan. I want to see how everybody is over the weekend, what the latest is. I like to just check in and just, try to say hello to everybody. And I got, some feedback pretty quickly that people didn't really want to hear the heavy news on Monday morning, and I don't blame you. So I ended up putting the news together through memes, and that's really, as long as it's tastefully done, I'm not gonna then I'm going to continue doing it. But I have a feeling YouTube's not happy about it because they've been censoring us. So look, folks, we're going to keep trying. We're not going to relent. Death threats, deleted channels, deleted blogs, censorship, throttling, you name it, hasn't erased us from social media, and it isn't going to. So we're down to 79 days now to the election. If you have folks that need to get registered to vote, get them registered. You have until August? No, you have until October. I don't know, 30 days before the election, I think. So it's like the beginning of October. Stay away from the poison ivy. I have terrible poison ivy. Oh my God, it's starting to itch really bad. Really bad poison ivy on my arm. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's not. And then I have it on my face. I actually have poison ivy. See? Can you see that? All along the side of my face. It itches so bad. I can't win. It's horrible, horrible poison ivy is the most worst thing in the world. They say that there's always a cure within like 15 feet of it. So I don't know. What, more ivy? It's a ton of ivy out there. Gee whiz. That's what happens when you cut the grass. So everybody, if you have any remedies for this, I'm open. I mean, yeah, the calamine lotion, but I want a quick one. I want it fast. I don't want to wait 2 weeks for this stuff to disappear again. I know, Wendy, I agree with you. I'm trying to. This is what happened, okay? So in our state, we're so. Okay. So the governor of this liberal fascist state, okay, has said that if you go out of state to a state that's on their list, it's on their list of high count COVID. Not like, look, ours is the highest in the state, in the country, I think, right? New York, New Jersey, it's the highest in the country. Who else is higher? Nobody's higher than us, right? But no, if we travel to some other state that's got some number of COVID cases, well, we have to quarantine. When we come back, we have to quarantine for 2 weeks in our home. 2 weeks. How are the kids going to go back to school? How are we going to do that? Of course it's BS. But what's BS is this quarantine. So where we were going to go is now on the list. So I had to cancel the reservations. I mean, this is crazy, folks. This is crazy, 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 right? Cray, cray, they call it. It's terrible. So, okay, thanks, Captain Raid. Yeah. Tea tree, essential oils, I'll do it. Don't go back. I know, right? I wouldn't go back trust me, if I didn't have to, I wouldn't. Oof. Okay, so we had to change our plans, and so, unfortunately now every state around us is on this list. So you can't go anywhere, even if you travel through it, right? If you travel through it, you're in it. You're there, right? You stop at the rest area. Oh, you're there. Well, how do they know? So now we're stuck in the state. Might as well put border walls up around us because we're stuck in the state. Yeah. So we have to find something to do. So you're right. We've got to. It's just ridiculous. It's getting so much. Yes, this state has to recall this governor. No question about it. So, and that is still an option. Yes, it takes time, but you must, if we start it now, we can get the recall done. We can do it because, just think how long it's going to take while they're still in office, right? Everybody heard that Laura Loomer won the 21st district. Oh, see, I'm scratching. Oh no. Ah, damn. Won't stop itching. Did everybody hear how that Laura Loomer won the 21st district down in Florida? I don't know how. I don't know how because she was completely banned on social media from what we understand. So I don't know how she won that. She just moved there just to run there. So how did she win that? I just don't understand how she won it. I really don't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not making any other comments other than I don't understand how that happens. Yep. I'm not so sure. I don't know if it's good or bad. I don't know. I don't really know. There's a lot of speculation as to who she is, what her background is, who she may be affiliated with. I don't know. Is she a Mossad agent? I don't know. Is she a transgender? I think she was. Somebody might have said. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not claiming that. I'm asking the question if anybody knows if that's true, because I don't know. It's just that, you should be upfront with who you are, right? If you're not ashamed, you want to shove that LGBTQ down our throats, you might as well tell us publicly if you are one, because now's the time to do it. Okay. So anyway, well, we don't know. We don't know for sure, Wendy. Let's hope. Let's hope she is. I hope so. I hope she's going to do something good. So if anything, just get Nancy Pelosi the heck out of there. Okay, guys. So you all have a great night. I'll see you back. I may be back tomorrow morning with a report from Dr. Werner. I'm not quite sure if we're doing one tomorrow. So come by around 10:30 on Eastern time, and see. We might be doing a report tomorrow because I don't know just yet. Otherwise, we will be back on Friday, of course, with our weekend edition POTUS report. And I will replay that video. I'm sure you'll see it some more, but it was worth listening and worth watching. And of course, we're going to finish reporting on whatever the president is doing the rest of the week. May have some other reports. I'm going to be doing a special on Beirut, Lebanon, with someone who has family there and has a video that we're going to be sharing about what really happened on the streets there, because we really want to. Our hearts go out to the people of Beirut. They didn't deserve this, what happened, and it was really, really horrible. I mean, hospitals blown to pieces while people were giving birth, having operations, all kinds of things. It was just amazing. Everything's going to be all right. Okay, Captain Raid. Thanks, everybody. I know, I can't help not scratching it. Look at it. Look, it goes from here to here on my face. Look at that. Does anybody ever see anything like that? And then on my arm now, because it's spreading. Wait, where'd it go? Can you see it? Can you see that? No, I don't think you can. Right? And then you're not even going to want to know where else it's spread, because your arm goes down, and guess what? Oh man, that's horrible. It's really horrible. Everybody, you have a great night. Thanks for joining me. And I wouldn't be the first time I had poison ivy there either. So see you guys Friday. Now I'll see you Saturday, not Friday, Saturday. Exactly. Q is now mainstream. It's wonderful. So you all have a great night. And this concludes this edition of the GoldFish Report. Thanks for joining me.